digital data. So I hope some of you who have opted for digital electronics as an elective, generic elective, in one of the semesters, previous semesters, you must have studied some of the modulation techniques. I don't know. I don't know the syllabus, but that is my just interpretation. So even if you don't, if you have not opted for that, or if you have not covered it, we are covering it here for that. So. So my analog signal is basically, it is a continuous signal. So when we are discussing about anything analog, that is a continuous set of values, and normally we represent an analog signal as a sine wave, or a kind of a signal which is going up and down continuously. So normally we say in the form of a sine wave. It is a kind of wave. So the relationship between the digital information, the digital to analog modulating process, and the resultant analog signal can be seen in figure 5.1 here. Now see, my data is digital, so that means it is in the form of bits, zeros and ones. So that is digital data or discrete data. Now the sender laptop, it has to basically convert the digital signal to the analog, digital data to the analog signal. So we need a device known as modulator. So modulator does what? It converts the data into the analog signal. So it is doing modulation, and then it is sent over the link between the modulator and the demodulator, the analog signal, which is carrying the digital data, which is carrying the information, digital information will be sent to the demodulator. In turn, demodulator will do the reverse algorithm of the modulator, and it will demodulate the signal, and from that, this analog signal in the which was being received by the demodulator, it is extracting the digital information whichever has been received, and it is sending it back to the receiver laptop or receiver device, which will be processing the digital information. So this is the basic process of modulation, demodulation, or digital to analog conversion. So these are the elements which will be present. So we'll have the digital data sent by the sender, then it will be modulated by the modulator device. It will be sent over the transmission media, coaxial cable or optical fiber, that is over the link physically in the form of an analog signal, and then it will be received by the demodulator. In turn, demodulator will do the reverse of modulation or modulator, and it will retrieve the data which was being carried by the analog signal, and it will again, the result will be the digital data which will be processed by the receiver. So we discussed that there are three characteristics of any sine wave or any analog signal. One is amplitude, another one is frequency, and third one is phase. So there are three characteristics of analog signal. The amplitude is the maximum value of the signal which it takes. Frequency is in how much time. Frequency is 1 upon time or one cycle completion. Frequencies in 1 unit of time or in 1 second, how many patterns of the, or how many repetitions of the sine wave are done, that is frequency. And phase is what angle it makes with the center or with the origin, so that is a phase. So these are the three characteristics of any analog signal. So we can vary any one of these characteristics, and do we can by varying the characteristic, like we can vary the amplitude, we can vary the frequency, we can vary the phase, and we can say we can carry the information over this analog signal just by varying any of these characteristics. And depending on which characteristic or which property of the analog signal out of these three is being changed to carry the information, depending on that, we will say a technique will be called based upon that. So suppose if we are varying the amplitude of the carrier signal for carrying the digital data, then it will be known as amplitude shift keying. Simply, if we are just varying the any of these characteristics, it will be known as shift keying or SK. But if we are varying the amplitude, then it will be known as amplitude shift keying. Keying means we are basically encoding the digital information into the signal itself. So that is known as keying. So what we are doing is we are shifting the amplitude, we are changing the amplitude. So we are changing the amplitude, we are shifting the amplitude to key in the basically information, digital information into the analog signal. So that's why it is known as amplitude shift keying. Then the second one is frequency shift keying. So another property of any sine wave or analog signal is frequency. That is the number of cycles done by the sine wave in 1 unit of time or in 1 second. So how many times it has changed its pattern or how many cycles it has completed. So if we are changing the frequency of the signal, it is known as frequency shift keying. If we are changing the phase of the sine wave, then it is known as phase shift keying. So any of these keying methods, amplitude, frequency and phase shift keying, we can use for doing digital to analog conversion. And if we change two of them simultaneously, we are changing the amplitude and we are changing the phase both at the same time to represent one type of digital information carried by the analog signal, then it is known as QAM, that is quadrature amplitude modulation. So we can better have better results and using quadrature amplitude modulation, and most of the times in today's scenario practically we use QAM, and the variations is QAM. So we vary the amplitudes of the analog signal, we vary the shifts phase also, and then it becomes quadrature amplitude modulation or QAM. So we have various sub techniques under QAM. So now we can see that different types of digital analog conversion which can be done through done by changing one of the characteristics or more than one characteristics like phase and amplitude, and that will become QAM. So this is the diagrammatical representation of the types of the conversions we can do. Now next is aspects of digital to analog conversion. Now as we discussed earlier also that there are two basic things which are to be considered while assessing the techniques of on while discussing the benefits and advantages of each type of conversions. So we'll be doing this in the light of two things, two units basically. One is bit and another is baud. So bit rate and baud rate. So we'll be assessing how much bit rate we can achieve, how much or data rate or signal rate we can have, and depending on that we'll say this technique is better than the others. So these are the terms which will, basic issues and terms which will be comparing while discussing all these techniques. So data element versus signal element we have already done. So we defined earlier in chapter 4 that a data element is the smallest information to be exchanged, that is the bit. And we also defined a signal element as the smallest unit of a signal, that is constant. Fine. So basically a signal element which is constant throughout 1 unit of time, that is a signal element. So smallest piece of information in digital form is bit. So and we have already discussed it earlier. So now we'll be using same, but a little bit there'll be a little bit change. So how to compute data rate and how to compute signal rate. So data rate is for how fast my information is being transmitted, how many bits per second are being transmitted in, by the technique or using that particular technique like ASK, FSK or PSK. And signal rate is how many signals per unit of how many signal changes per unit of time will be needing for transmitting a particular number of bits in a per second. So that is signal rate, or signal rate is also known as baud rate. I hope you remember baud rate from earlier chapters. So bit rate is basically the data rate, which is normally in terms of bits per second or kilobits per second or megabits per second. And baud rate is how many signals are transferred or signal changes per unit of time are there. So the relationship we have already done between these two is S is equal to N into 1 upon R baud. So N is basically bits per second, that is the data rate, and R is the number of data elements carried in one signal element. Now suppose there is one signal element is suppose one cycle of sine wave. So in one cycle of sine wave, how many data elements or how many bits are being transmitted, that is known as basically R. R is the baud rate. Sorry, R is the number of data elements carried in one signal. So suppose one cycle of sine wave, it is carrying 2 bits, or you say suppose positive cycle or positive wave of sine wave, positive cycle of sine wave is carrying 1 and negative is representing 0. So one signal element will be carrying 2 bits of information. So that is R. Is that clear? What is R? R is the number of data elements carried in one signal element. So if one cycle of sine wave is carrying 2 bits, like suppose our representation is that a positive cycle of sine wave is representing 1 and negative cycle is representing 0, or reverse, 0 is being represented by the positive sine wave and negative sine wave cycle is represented by 1. So in that case, my one signal element, one sine wave is representing, one cycle of sine wave is representing 2 bits. So that unit R is equal to 2 is basically R is equal to 2. So that is R. And you know the data rate, that is N, that is bits per second. So how many bits per second are being transmitted? Now value of R in analog transmission is R is equal to log 2 of L, where L is a number of different signal elements. Now just see the difference. There is not very much a difference between digital to digital conversion, digital to analog conversion, but still the meaning of the values is a little bit different. How? We said R is in analog transmission is equal to log 2 of L. Now log 2 of L in digital to digital conversion, when we were doing digital to digital conversion, L was what was L?
Number of different signals.
The number of levels, the number of signal levels were L. Because in digital to digital conversion, what we were doing is the levels were representing constant voltages, because the voltages itself were discrete. There was no continuous sine wave. Do you remember Manchester encoding, differential Manchester, NRZ? What we were doing is either the voltage was absent or it was DC. Direct current means there was a static voltage, 10 volts, 5 volts, 2 volts. So if we had different voltage levels in digital to digital conversions, so suppose I had 4 voltage levels, 5, 10, 15 and 20 volts. So all those 4 signal levels, those levels were static, constant levels, and there were only 4 levels. So if we receive any voltage levels out of these 4, we say 4 signal levels can represent 2 bits of information. Okay, so like 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So 5 volts may be representing 0, 0, 10 volts may represent 0, 1, 15 volts may represent 1, 0, and 20 volts may represent 1, 1. So we had different voltage levels, fine. But in case of digital to analog conversion, we'll have L number of different signal elements. Okay, now these signal levels here will be different types of signals, different types of sine waves, because now my signal element is not digital, it is analog. When it was, my signal element was digital, in digital to digital conversion, my signal element was, the signal which was carrying the information was DC current, that was digital. I hope I am clear, students. The level, different number of signals and different signal levels and different signal elements. Is it clear between digital to digital and digital to analog conversion, how my digital signal is represented and how my analog signal is represented? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, so digital signal is discrete values of voltages. Fine. So we have some specific voltage levels, then that is known as digital signal. But when I have a continuous sine wave with some amplitude and with some frequency and with some phase, then that will be known as an analog signal element. Fine. So now my L is not representing only discrete voltage levels, it is representing 4 different sine waves. Now suppose first sine wave has an amplitude of A1, second sine wave has an amplitude of A2, third sine wave is having an amplitude of A3, fourth sine wave may be having an amplitude of A4. So different sine waves with different amplitudes will be 4 different signals, 4 different analog signal elements, and then L is 4. So here also my analog signal will be representing some digital information. So suppose I say A1 is representing 0, 0, and sine wave with A2 amplitude will be representing 0, 1. Sine wave with A2 amplitude will be representing 1, 0, and sine wave with A3 amplitude will be representing repeating 1 1. So here also my signal is carrying the information, it is representing some digital information, but now here my levels, voltage levels are not varying, my signals are varying. My signal elements are itself analog elements and analog signals, and they're representing different bits of information. So this depends how many different signals I have. Now suppose I have 8 different signals of sine wave. Now what it will be very difficult for me to have a sender and a receiver to interpret these type different sine waves with different varying amplitudes. Suppose A1, A2, A3 amplitudes, so the amplitude will vary. So if you will have 8 different sine waves with 8 different amplitudes, now I should have a sophisticated sender modulator also. I should have a sophisticated receiver demodulator also, so that it can very clearly identify and represent digital information with A1. So the modulator can generate a sine wave with A1 amplitude, A2 amplitude, A3 amplitude, A4 amplitude, all with the same frequency, all with the same phase, but different amplitudes. So it has to be sophisticated enough so that it can clearly generate 8 different types of sine waves with different amplitudes, A1 through A8. Similarly, my demodulator should be able to receive all these sine waves with different amplitudes, with 8 different amplitudes. Now I have only 8 kinds of signals, so that if I receive one signal out of these 8 types of signals, that one signal can represent 3 bits of information. So its interpretation will remain same, but now I'm not having 8 different voltage levels and discrete voltage levels or DCs. I have analog signals, I have sine waves with me now, because I'm doing digital to analog conversion, and my carrier signal is analog itself. So it is a sine wave, it is a continuous wave, but I am just varying my analog. I am just varying one characteristics, that is amplitude. So I am just varying amplitude of the analog signal in ASK, that is amplitude shift keying. So my L here represents the number of different signal elements which can be constructed by either varying amplitude, or by varying frequencies, or by varying phase of the signal. Now same nomenclature is used to simplify the comparison between these two. So bit rate is the number of bits per second, as we discussed earlier also. Baud rate is the number of signal elements per second. So how many sine waves or how many different types of amplitudes, all those sine waves with different amplitudes can be transmitted per unit of time or per second is known as baud rate. Now suppose in 1 second, if I have transmitted 8 types of different analog signals or 8 type of different sine waves with different amplitudes, 8 amplitudes. So what will be my bit rate? Suppose 1 सेकंड में मैं 8 साइन वेव्स भेजती हूँ, 8 साइकिल्स ऑफ साइन वेव भेजती हूँ, और पहले वाला जो साइन वेव का साइकिल है वो A1 एम्पलीट्यूड का है, दूसरे वाला A2 एम्पलीट्यूड का है, तीसरे वाला साइकिल जो है वो A3 एम्पलीट्यूड का, एंड सो ऑन अप टू A8. सो एक ही सेकंड में मैं 8 साइन वेव की साइकिल्स कंप्लीट कर रही हूँ, लेकिन हर साइन वेव का एम्पलीट्यूड डिफरेंट है. पहले वाले का A1 है, फिर दूसरे का A2 है, और सो ऑन अप टू A8. So I have 8 different signals with different amplitudes in 1 second. So what is the baud rate of that channel? Hello. What is the baud rate of the channel? Hello. Anyone who is awake? Anjali Pawar, are you here? I'll mark absent. Mudita. सो गए सब? पल्लवी कुमारी.
Which one?
Anji Pallavi, switch on your camera. Are you sleeping or are you awake?
No, I'm awake.
Okay. So what is baud rate? If I am sending 8 different sine waves with different amplitudes A1 to A8 in 1 second, what is the baud rate of that channel?
Ma'am, it will be 8.
Yes, right.
Ma'am. See.
That will be 8 because I am carrying 8 different signals. So baud rate is the number of signal elements sent per unit of time or per second. That is baud rate. Now suppose if I am sending 8 different signals in 1 second, that will be the baud rate. So what can be the maximum bit rate or bits per second? What can be the data rate?
Ma'am, 3. Ma'am, it will be 3.
No. थोड़ा सा आपको फॉर्मूला समझने में लेट हो data rate will be
24.
yes 24. Then you are right because in 1 second there are 8 different signal changes and each signal element that is being transmitted can carry 3 bits of information in it. Okay, so each signal element can carry 3 bits of information. In 1 second I'm having 8 signal elements, so 8 into 3 is 24. So the data rate or bit rate will be 24. So if I'm only having a single signal element, so it can only represent one bit of information, then it will be, so baud rate can be equal to bit rate. Okay. So it says baud rate is less than or equal to the bit rate. So it can be less than or it can be equal to the bit rate. So next is this is just an example a numerical. So an analog signal carries 4 bits per signal element. Now just see, अभी जो हमने example किया है उसी से related है. An analog signal carries 4 bits per signal element. Now each individual signal can carry 4 bits of information. That you know, and 1000 signal elements are sent per second. Find the bit rate. So how many bits can be transmitted per unit of time? Even if you don't apply the formula, don't see the solution here. It is intuitive. You know 1000 signal elements per second and each signal carrying 4 bits of information. So what should be the intuitive data
Yes,
rate?
ma'am, 4000.
4000.
That is 4000. Because अब हमने कहा कि हमारी एक घंटे में 4 बसें चल रही हैं स्कूल से, ठीक है, और हर बस में 50 बच्चे हैं, तो कितने बच्चे पहुंच जाएंगे एक घंटे में सोर्स से डेस्टिनेशन? 200 बच्चे. 4 बसें जा रही हैं, हर बस में 50 बच्चे हैं, तो 50 इंटू 4 200. सेम एक घंटे में सॉरी एक सेकंड में 100 सिग्नल एलिमेंट्स ट्रांसफर हो रहे हैं, हर सिग्नल एलिमेंट 4 बिट्स कैरी कर रहा है, सो दैट विल बी 4000. 4 into 1000. So even if you don't apply the formula, it is very clear to you that n is unknown, n is the data rate, that is the bit rate, and we know s is equal to n into 1 upon r. So what could be the value of, because r is given, r is the this number of bits sent, and s is 1000. Signaling rate is 1000, baud is 4000. So this is 4000. 4. So r is equal to 4. So n is equal to s into r, that is 1000 into 4, that is 4000 bits per second. So that is the n. 4000 bits per second is the value of n, that is the bit rate or data rate. So an analog signal has a bit rate of now another one अब थोड़ा सा different है ये. Analog signal has a bit rate of 8000. Now n is given to you. What is bit rate? That is n or data rate. So an analog signal has a bit rate of 8000 bits per second and a baud rate of 1000 baud. Baud rate is S. Baud rate is represented by S. So baud rate is 1000 baud. So how many data elements are carried by each signal element? So now S is given to you, baud rate is given to you, S is 1000, N is given to you, bits per second, that is data rate is given, so N is given 8000, and R and L are unknown. So we first find out the value of R and then the value of L. So what is the formula? S is equal to N into 1 upon
Yes,
R.
baud rate is equals to yes, ma'am, and like a total
Yeah.
bit. Yes.
So
It will be 8. Yes, ma'am. Like that is like data elements that are carried by each signal element, ma'am. It is like quite obvious. So it will be 8 because, ma'am, there are we have bit rate is equals to 8,000 and baud rate is equals to 1,000. So as we know that S is equals to n by r, so yes, ma'am, R will be equal to 8 bits
yeah,
per
so,
baud. Yes, ma'am.
so that will be 8 bits per signal change or 8 bits per baud. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
This is clear. Now,
Ma'am,
if
so its unit will be like we have to write it like bits per baud, या फिर like in this form, na? Like its
Yeah.
unit will be okay, ma'am.
yeah, R will be 8 bits per baud because N is what? Number of bits per second, and S is number of signal changes or baud per second. So 8 bits upon baud. Because S जो measurement है, S का unit है baud है और N का unit जो है वो bits है. ठीक है, so that is bits upon baud. Now the question does not stop here because it needs the L also, because you need to send how many signal elements are needed to do this. Now
So it will be 3. Yes, ma'am, because R equal to log of.
no, that won't be 3.
Sorry, ma'am. हाँ, it will be like 2 raised to power 8. हाँ,
Yeah.
because R word is wrong.
या ये थोड़ा सा वही ना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है. नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल इज कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. पहले आपको आर निकालना पड़ेगा कि कितने बिट्स पर बाड जा रहे हैं, कितने पर सिग्नल चेंज कितने बिट्स जा रहे हैं, 8 जा रहे हैं. नाउ व्हेन वी डिस्कस द अर्लियर एग्जांपल जो पहले किया था हमने कि अगर हमारा हर सिग्नल जो है वो 3 बिट्स ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन कैरी कर रहा है, तो हाउ मेनी डिफरेंट सिग्नल्स विल बी नीडिंग टू रिप्रेजेंट 3 बिट्स. 8 डिफरेंट सिग्नल्स विल बी नीडिंग. अब यहाँ पर हमें पता है कि हमारे पास 8 बिट्स पर सिग्नल जा रहे हैं, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हमारे पास कितने सिग्नल्स, डिफरेंट सिग्नल्स होंगे जो कि हर एक को 8 डिफरेंट डिजिट से 8 डिफरेंट बिट्स से हम उसको रिप्रेजेंट कर पाएंगे. तो फॉर 8 विल बी नीडिंग 2 raised to power 8, दैट इज 256 डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सिग्नल्स विल बी नीडिंग. सो 256 हमें साइन वेव्स चाहिए होंगी, डिफरेंट सिग्नल्स चाहिए होंगे जिनमें कि एम्पलीट्यूड भी वेरी कर सकता है, फ्रीक्वेंसी भी वेरी कर सकती है और हमारा फेज भी वेरी कर सकता है. बिकॉज ऐसा तो हो नहीं पाएगा कि हमें A1 से लेके A256 तक हम 256 एम्पलीट्यूड्स वेरी करें साइन वेव की. दैट वुड बी वेरी प्रैक्टिकली नॉट अ फीजिबल सॉल्यूशन कि हम A1 से लेके A256 तक डिफरेंट एम्पलीट्यूड्स करें साइन वेव की. एंड वी हैव टू डू इट विद द साइन वेव ओनली बिकॉज वी आर हैविंग अ signal element of analog time. So the carrier signal is itself analog. So we have to use some continuous sine wave. So we cannot have different signal levels only with varying the amplitude. So we need to do some modification into the sine wave so that we can vary a little bit of amplitude. We can, at the same amplitude, we can have different frequencies also. So that way, QAM is basically the most feasible technique for doing amplitude modulation. This shift key and digital to analog conversion. The best technique is QAM because in that we are varying the amplitude also, and on the same amplitude we are varying the frequency. So the signal changes and it is carrying a different type of information. So the number of bits transferred will be big. So you can imagine for generating so many 256, even if we want to send per signal change, we want to send 8 bits of information, then we need to modulate the signal and we have to change the signal so that it can have 256 different types of analog signals. So that would be very difficult for a modulator and a demodulator to have these types of signal generation and reception. So it's theoretically very nice to hear all those things that the data rate has increased, but now you can see the impact of that. The number of signals you will be needing will be 256. So you will have to have a good receiver and a good device, physical device, modulator and demodulator to generate these many kinds of different signals, 256. So if we are increasing theoretically the number of bits per signal, suppose I say I am just increasing 8 to 9. तो मैंने कहा कि मैंने अब मेरा एक सिग्नल चेंज से 9 बिट्स चले जाएंगे, एक सिग्नल से ही मेरे 9 चले जाएंगे बिट्स. So how many different signal levels I will be needing? 2 raised to power 9. That becomes 512. So 512 सिर्फ एक bit of information per signal change अगर हमें change भी करना है और we are too greedy to increase our bit rate and data rate, then we'll be having a sophisticated hardware to generate those many different types of signals by varying the amplitude, frequency and phase. So that will become complicated for us. So we cannot, theoretically we can have, but practically it becomes very difficult to have those kinds of physical devices to have different types of sine waves with different frequencies, amplitude, and phase. So next is bandwidth. So once we have discussed that how will we do this, we'll discuss the bandwidth constraints for these types of analog transmission. So the required bandwidth for analog transmission of digital data is proportional to the signal rate except for FSK. So when we are doing amplitude modulation, so if we leave the frequency shift keying technique, so the bandwidth will for these types of transmission, analog transmission of digital data is proportional to the signal rate. क्योंकि हमें जो एनालॉग सिग्नल भेजना है उसमें अगर हम एम्पलीट्यूड का मॉड्यूलेशन करते हैं तो सिग्नल रेट विल बी and the bandwidth will be proportional to the signal rate. Now, in which the difference between the carrier signals needs to be added. So basically, what is the bandwidth? Bandwidth is the highest frequency minus the lowest frequency. So जो भी आपका जो सिग्नलिंग हो रही है, जो सिग्नल आप भेज रहे हो, जितने टाइप्स के भी एनालॉग सिग्नल्स भेज रहे हो, साइन वेव्स भेज रहे हो, उसमें जो हाईएस्ट फ्रीक्वेंसी का कंपोनेंट है और लोएस्ट फ्रीक्वेंसी का कंपोनेंट है, उसमें जो है हमारा अगर फ्रीक्वेंसी शिफ्ट की यूज करते हैं तो ज्यादा दिक्कत होगी, क्योंकि हर डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ सिग्नल के लिए हमें फ्रीक्वेंसी को चेंज करना पड़ेगा. नाउ सपोज आई हैव 4 डिफरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसीज बट द सेम एम्पलीट्यूड, सो व्हाट विल बी दैट फ्रीक्वेंसी शिफ्ट की. तो F1 फ्रीक्वेंसी एक सिग्नल माना जा रहा है, F2 फ्रीक्वेंसी पर जो साइन वेव जा रही है वो डिफरेंट सिग्नल है, F3 फ्रीक्वेंसी पर जो जा रही है वो डिफरेंट सिग्नल है, F4 फ्रीक्वेंसी पर जो जा रही है वो डिफरेंट सिग्नल है. सो आई हैव 4 डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सिग्नल्स विद डिफरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसीज F1, F2, F3 and F4, but they are representing only 2 bits because 4 different signals can represent 2 bits of information. I hope this is clear to all of you, because there are 4 different types of signals, so you can have 2 bits of information per frequency change. So now in FSK we have now the bandwidth of FSK will be F4 minus F1, because there is a huge variation. There are so many frequencies, F1, F2, F3 and F4. Just for the sake of example I am giving you. So the bandwidth will be F4 minus F1 at least. But और इस केस में F4 minus F1 तो होगा ही, डिफरेंस बिटवीन द कैरियर सिग्नल्स, और ये आपको ऐड करना पड़ेगा F4 minus F1, ये भी करना पड़ेगा. और उनके बीच का जो है, मान लीजिए जैसे F1 फ्रीक्वेंसी और F2 फ्रीक्वेंसी आपकी कंटिन्यूस फ्रीक्वेंसीज नहीं हो सकती, उसमें थोड़ा सा गैप भी होगा. So everything you need to include, so bandwidth will increase. But in case of amplitude modulation, the bandwidth will be proportional to the signaling rate. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, bandwidth उतनी रिक्वायर्ड है जितना कि हमें सिग्नल की फ्रीक्वेंसी है उतने ही रिक्वायर्ड है, उतने ही सिग्नलिंग रेट पे चल जाएगा. तो नंबर ऑफ साइकिल्स जो है पर यूनिट ऑफ टाइम जो है सिग्नल का जो रेट है उसी की बैंडविड्थ उतनी ही रिक्वायर्ड है. आपको ज्यादा फ्रीक्वेंसीज की और ज्यादा बैंडविड्थ की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है इन केस ऑफ ASK, दैट इज एम्पलीट्यूड शिफ्ट. I hope that is clear to all of you, bandwidth component, because in frequency shift keying the bandwidth will be a larger one, because you will be only varying the frequencies of the signals, so you need a wide range, wide bandwidth. But in case of amplitude we are not varying the frequencies are remaining same, so bandwidth is same as the frequency of the signal which you are sending, because that is remaining constant, you are just changing the amplitude of the signal. The next one is carrier signal. In analog transmission, the sending device produces a high frequency signal that acts as a base for the information signal. This base signal is called the carrier signal or carrier frequency. So suppose just the basic example, अभी मैं digital transmission की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ, और digital data, we are not talking of data, we are just talking of a signal which is carrying the information. So if the analog transmission is being done and it is a long distance transmission, you cannot use the frequencies in the lower frequency range like 4000 kilohertz or 300 hertz. So hertz and 4000, 5000 kilohertz, that's the normal audio range. So you cannot transmit on the simple audio range. You have to transmit and superimpose the signals onto the higher frequency range. Okay, so which is not interpreted by the human ear. Okay, you cannot interpret those frequencies and you cannot hear those high frequencies at from a normal human ear. You cannot hear that. So it has to be modulated and demodulated accordingly. So जैसे मैं अपना ऑडियो सिग्नल अगर मैं भेजती हूँ तो आई विल बी नीडिंग एंड मॉड्यूलेटिंग माय टेक्स्ट सॉरी स्पीच डेटा और एनालॉग डेटा ऑन अ हायर फ्रीक्वेंसी सो दैट इट कैन रीच अ लॉन्गर डिस्टेंस. सिमिलरली अब वही बात है कि जब आपको हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी सिग्नल चाहिए जिसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी बहुत हाई है, ऑडियो रेंज से भी बाहर है, तो उस सिग्नल को क्या बोलते हैं? कैरियर सिग्नल बोलते हैं या बेस फ्रीक्वेंसी बोलते हैं, उसको बेस सिग्नल बोलते हैं. दैट इज कैरियर सिग्नल और कैरियर फ्रीक्वेंसी. सो उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी बहुत हाई होती है. सो रिसीविंग डिवाइस होता है बिकॉज यू आर मॉड्यूलेटिंग एट द सेंडर साइड, तो रिसीवर डिवाइस के पास भी एक डीमॉड्यूलेटर ऐसा होना चाहिए जो उस कैरियर फ्रीक्वेंसी पे ट्यून हो और उसको इंटरप्रेट करने के लिए और एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए ready. And you have to have a receiver which is expecting what the sender is sending. Now you must have seen all we have discussed this example earlier also, like this FM radio. So they have what frequency Radio Mirchi ki kya frequency है? 98.4. What is the frequency of Radio Mirchi? आजकल FM कोई सुनता है या सिर्फ इंस्टाग्राम और एफबी और उस पर चलते हैं आप लोग? Does anyone
8.3 megahertz.
Megahertz. Okay, so that is 98.3 megahertz. Why can't you listen Radio Mirchi on 95 megahertz? Because that 98.3 megahertz is assigned to only one particular channel for transmission, and my receiver should be able to receive that frequency only. So if my receiver is tuned for 98.3 megahertz, then only you can listen to that channel. Otherwise you are not able to listen. If my device, my mobile device or my radio device which is catching the frequency, which is receiving the frequency, is tuned to some other frequency, then it will only hear the signals which are transmitted over that frequency range. So if you are having 95 FM, 95.0 megahertz or 95.2 or whatever it is, if any other X megahertz is there, then that high frequency signal will be received by the receiver only if it is tuned to that. So if we are expecting to receive a frequency from the sender and the sender is tuned or it is sending the signal at 98.3 megahertz, then only I'll be able to receive, and I'll be expecting at 98.3 megahertz only. So the receiver will be sending at 98.3 and I'll be also expecting the same at 9, and I'll be tuned to 98.3 megahertz. So otherwise I will not be able to receive the signal sent by the sender. So that is carrier signal. And now the digital information then changes the carrier signal by modifying, now that we have discussed in the previous topics also, that in digital to analog conversion, this carrier signal which we are transmitting over a high frequency, then like suppose on 98.3 megahertz, suppose that is particular channel like Radio Mirchi channel, and it is sending me signals 98.3, but what I am getting, the whatever they are sending is the normal audio range speech. So even if it is music or maybe a simple speech, human speech, then that is only in the range of audible range, that is 4000 kilohertz, 300 hertz to 3000 kilohertz or 300 hertz to 4000 kilohertz. That is the maximum range a human ear can accept. Okay, तो हमारे कान जो हैं वो सिर्फ 4000 किलोहर्ट्ज तक सुन सकते हैं, उसके बियॉन्ड हमारे ईयर ड्रम्स जो है फट जाएंगे या खराब हो जाएंगे. We cannot hear. So higher frequency signals our ears, human ears cannot catch. So what we need is we cannot receive. अगर हम अगर अपने आप को मानते हैं, we are also able to receive the lower frequencies. So अगर हमारे पास कोई साथ में कहीं पे म्यूजिक बज रहा है और वो हमारे 4000 किलोहर्ट्ज की रेंज में है, तो our ears can hear that music and we can interpret that. But because the radio waves which are being received by my mobile device or radio device is in megahertz, so my ear cannot receive that frequency and interpret that frequency, and that is a high range frequency. So only my receiver which is tuned to 98.3 megahertz will receive that, and on that my speech which is music or song in audio range is superimposed. So my that हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी सिग्नल दैट इज कैरियर फ्रीक्वेंसी मेगाहर्ट्ज में जो है हमारी 98.3 मेगाहर्ट्ज, उस फ्रीक्वेंसी पर मेरा ऑडियो सिग्नल आ रहा है, मेरा सॉन्ग भी आ रहा है जो सिंगर ने गाया है, दैट इज इन द human audible range, and my song is also in the human audible range. So that normal frequency signal, audio signal and the music signal is being carried by the high megahertz frequency carrier signal. So the carrier signal हमेशा high frequency का होता है, और जो information उसमें आ रही है, चाहे वो analog information आ रही है, चाहे digital information आ रही है, वो हमेशा different होता है, ठीक है. So carrier signal is always of high frequency, and it is a base signal on which we are carrying the information, or on which we are sending the information, and the sender is always tuned to it is expecting and tuned to the same frequency, receiver, sorry, and sender has to send the carrier's frequency which the receiver is expecting. So both of them are using the physical layer protocol. And what is a physical layer protocol? They must be expecting the same type of frequencies. So that is about digital to analog transmission. So when we change the carrier signal and we change its amplitude, frequency or phase, then that type of modulation will be done, modification will be done to the carrier signal, and hence it is called modulation or shifting. So changing the carrier signal as per the information carried by the signal is known as modulation, and which aspect is modulation is also known as shift key, or otherwise the type will be defined by what component or what characteristic of the carrier signal you are changing, amplitude, frequency or phase. That is called amplitude shift keying or frequency shift keying or phase shift keying. So I think I stop here. I have given you the brief introduction of the modulation and types of modulation. We'll be discussing everything in detail tomorrow. Okay. So I'm leaving here. I'll take attendance now. Any doubts? Students, any doubts? Meenakshi Sharma.
Yes, ma'am. No doubts.